Alabama's Morning News. I'm JT, and our friend Jody Neal is back. She's an expert on child abuse and a survivor as well, and spent 20 years prosecuting crimes against kids. And to talk about the Epstein situation, to me, I got to tell you, Jody, it sounded like a broken record. You know, the minute Pam Bondi walked out there and said, "We've got everything, we're going to release everything," and then pulled back and said, "No, we're not." The whole country was like, "Are you kidding me? Here we go again, nothing." And now it doesn't seem like we're ever going to get to the bottom of this. I mean, this is a bigger mystery than who killed JFK. I mean, good morning. Welcome in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, JT. I always love being on this show. Look, what they're saying is there's not enough evidence to convict, and that is the wrong analysis. Our law has mechanisms so that investigations can take place, and all you need is reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion is enough to get you a grand jury. Grand juries have subpoena power. They can subpoena witnesses. They can subpoena documents. And so this absolutely critical investigatory tool seems to be overlooked by design.
There are pictures, there are videos, there are witnesses, there are victims. I mean, I've seen people convicted on, 25 to life on less evidence than they've got on this. I mean, there's 3 million pages of documents here, and they can't come up with anything. Ghislaine Maxwell's the only one they're putting behind bars. Well, Epstein did, and then apparently he didn't kill himself. But and so nobody else is going to be held accountable. Prince Andrew, I mean, they got after him a little bit more than anybody's doing anything here in the United States. So will we ever get to the bottom of this, or is the bottom line there are too many powerful people involved, so it's basically a dead story?
I honestly don't know that this will ever be a real dead story. I have been calling for additional survivors to come forward. I think that would be a seismic event if someone came forward and said, "Hey, I'm the one who was in that document. It was my name that was redacted or not redacted."
Right.
I think that would move the needle forward quite a bit. I think that if your name is in those files, I think that's reasonable suspicion to begin an investigation. And for me personally, having those records in a searchable format and in a cloud would be really helpful so that you can connect the dots. I love what the UK did with Prince Andrew because they used the files to find a crime. It wasn't exactly the crime we wanted them to go for, but it was very serious. And I think that sort of reasonable suspicion is all over these files, and I don't think it's over.
Well, it's pretty clear Pam Bondi lost her job because of the debacle that became her investigation into this and stepping out and then stepping back with zero for us, really. And now even the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, has said, we're going to move forward. The president will pick a new attorney general, and but we're not bringing the Epstein story along with us. They're leaving it at the train station with Pam Bondi. So the indication from the administration or the DOJ anyway is that, yeah, we're kind of done with this. So let me ask you about the victims. You brought that up, and we had a woman on who's a victim of sexual rape and kidnapping years ago, and now works with an organization that is a victim rights organization here in Birmingham. Yesterday, it's been a friend of mine for years, and at the end of the day, victims sometimes don't want to come forward. You were a victim yourself. What has to happen for somebody to say, okay, I'll face it, I'll go after justice, and why the reluctancy to begin with?
What a great question. That's a lot to unpack. For sure, what makes victims come forward is their fear that this is going to happen to other people. And in the Epstein situation, I could see there are a lot more victims than what we know about.
Right.
I could see them saying, look, he's dead. She's in prison. Why would I do this to myself? I mean, the president could be attacking me on national TV. So it makes perfect sense why someone would want to avoid that situation specifically. In general, victims do the same thing. That's why I never came forward. I mean, the Epstein it shines a light on a phenomenon which is pervasive in America, which is victims have almost no confidence that law enforcement and the criminal system is going to respond appropriately. And it is so sad that so many millions of people have so little confidence in a system that we should be really proud of.
Yeah, the entire country, in fact, the entire world should be behind bringing people to the accountability and their circumstances that they must face for having sex with children. It's just outrageous that we're just kind of turning it, basically our back to this whole situation because, quote unquote, we don't have enough to go forward, which is total BS to me. So, well, I hope the story stays alive for sure.
Thank you. And what's happening here is it's happening everywhere in grand juries, DA's offices all over the country for victims of all ages in every county, every city, every state. And the fact is we live in a predominantly, no offense, male-dominated system. And these decisions come from the top. And, when you have DAs with young little girlfriends and, it all sort of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to put things in context, and everyone needs to be participating in the system because the people you elect at the local level are the ones who are going to make the decisions for your children.
Well, I really appreciate your insight on this and the push to continue to keep this story alive and get some some justice for these victims out there because, it doesn't seem like the people that are in charge that could make it happen are going to make it happen. Jody Neal, thank you again.
Thank you. Take care.